It's the Goop again. I needed to make a follow-up video pertaining to a video I said about using flashcards. I said they were okay, but I wasn't accurate enough. I needed to say exactly what kind. Look, if it's an old game, if it's NES, if it's SNES, if it's these old consoles that just aren't manufactured anymore, old Sega consoles, by all means, go ahead and use a flashcard if you must. Anything current, 3DS, like somebody who watches me mentioned, he bought a lot of, or he didn't buy, but he told me a story about what happened and why he downloaded a bunch of ROMs. But then he said it was more current systems, and I was like, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to make you upset, but newer systems, newer handhelds, no. That's a bad, bad thing. Nintendo's been fighting this stuff. That's more current. Even the DS is still a bit more current. It is. It's still a little more current. I mean, it's a little old now, but it's still not that old. I honestly feel like you shouldn't be using flashcards for DS and 3DS games. Sorry, man. I think that's a bad idea. I think it's a very bad idea. Because at that point, you might actually be taking money out of some people's pockets. Sorry, that's how I feel about that. Uh, my rant before was mainly about old games, really old games, really old games. You can't find them anywhere anymore. Um, really, really old games. I do emulate really, really old games. Sorry, Nintendo. The only reason I emulate is there's games that you're never going to put up. There's games I will never see in a virtual console. They're never going to be there. I'm never going to see a lot of SNES games. I mentioned Congo's Capers before. Never going to see that. Never going to see Joe and Mac 1 and 2. Never going to see any of those games. Never going to see Bad Dudes. Never going to see... I could sit here and think of a lot of games that I'm never going to see on your virtual console. And Sega even said they're not supporting the Wii U virtual console this time around. There's not going to be any Wii U virtual console games. There's no Sega coming. And that's unfortunate. So if that's the case, then yeah, your older consoles, yes, I emulate. I'm sorry. If you would do a better job with your virtual console service, actually get some damn games up there. Stop dribbling out games. You constantly do this. With the Wii, it was the same way. It took forever to really get games out there. You need to drop way more downloads every week. You need to get them out there. Just get them out there. Get them on your website. Get them on your service. All right, Nintendo? I will, and you need to make them more affordable. I'm sorry, old NES games sold for like $5. Okay, I had to re-download or repurchase NES games. Since I already owned them on Wii, I only had to pay $1 something. That should be the price all the time. It should only be a couple of bucks. It shouldn't be $6 or more, or $5 or more. I'm sorry, it shouldn't. At this point, these games are old, and you're re-releasing these old games over and over again. And it's not even all of the games that people want to play. And you're not even taking an opportunity, Nintendo. You're not taking the opportunity to get some games translated that were never brought to the U.S. I've mentioned a website before that does this kind of stuff. There's old games that people never got to play that were great games that were left in Japan that were never released here. You could be taking the opportunity to release them in the U.S. as something new. Get them translated. No. No. No, no, no. That would be too logical for you, Nintendo. So this is what I mean about me not being a sheep and not blindly following Nintendo. As much as I love them, I do question things that they do. But flashcards, bottom line, if you're doing it for DS games or 3DS games, that's a little too current. If you're doing it for Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, that's not so current. That's kind of old at this point. I say go for it. If you're emulating or using flashcards for an NES, a Super NES, Sega Master System, or Sega CD, Sega Saturn, maybe even Dreamcast. If you're doing emulating or whatnot to play those old games that you just can't find anymore, then that's fine. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Let's see. What is your name? And I hope I get this right. Mega Gamer X1000. Okay. I'm sorry, dude. I seen your comment, and you're still a human being. I mean, I understand to an extent. I understand that video games are really expensive. It's more cost effective to get a PC or an emulation box or whatever and do this stuff. My main point of that video that I did before was that, dude, look, I feel that people who I feel that collectors have really ruined the opportunity for a lot of people to play these older games. Collectors. Like I said, the kind of guys that just put them up on a shelf and go, hey, look at my collection. Do you ever play them? No, I don't play them. They're just, well, look at them. It's so pretty. These guys. And the guys that'll have like 5 copies of Chrono Trigger. Dude! Go ahead and put those out in the wild again. These people that just buy up all these games. So yes, because of that kind of thing, I do feel that emulation and so forth is okay. That's how I feel about it. Nintendo, if you want people to stop emulating your old consoles, get the games out there, get them affordable. Okay? People will stop having them illegally. Especially these really old games at this point. $5 for an NES game? What are you smoking? Yeah, I don't think Nintendo's ever going to want to do anything with me after the things I've said. I was hoping, but it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen, but that's okay. There's other opportunities in this world, but yeah, bottom line, dude, I'm sorry, Mega Gamer X1000. Yeah, Mega Gamer X1000. If you're using flashcards for DS and 3DS games, my suggestion is wait another. I want to say another 10, 15 years. I know it's a long time to wait, but we've had to wait a long time, and we started playing NES games. But that, well, yeah, my main point with flashcards, you're not a bad human being for using flashcards to play old NES games, old SNES games, old Genesis games. You're not a bad person, especially if you're in my situation. It's not easy to get a hold of these old games at all. These games are at your fingertips. You just get them. But yeah, I'm sorry, Mega Man X1000 Gamer or Mega Gamer. I'm sorry, my brain is just. I'm sorry, dude. I hope this doesn't upset you too much. I hope you don't stop watching. But yeah, you should. You should do that. People are still trying to make money on those products. It's not out of print completely yet. It's not impossible to find a lot of stuff for those systems yet. Yeah, I'm only against emulation and whatnot when it's very current. I get disgusted. Back when the GameCube came out, people were already emulating GameCube, and I was disgusted with it. I was like, why are you no? And then the Wii came out, people were emulating Wii, and I'm like, and I think people are already working on emulation for the Wii U on their computer, and I'm like, dude, don't do that. You're going to cause money to be taken out of the pockets of these developers. They're not going to be able to make games anymore because of this. Don't do that. If it's newer games, don't do that. I'm sorry. And Mega Gamer X, you should know that Nintendo is planning to be putting DS games if they don't half-ass it. Nintendo's known to half-ass things. If they don't half-ass it, they're going to put DS games on the Wii U Virtual Console. Yeah. They're already putting GBA games. Of course, not as often as they should, and not as many as they should. They only put so many uploads. Here's another issue I have with Nintendo's download service. The games are way bigger than they should be. It's as if you're downloading a bunch of extra software just to run the damn game. So instead of downloading a game that should, like for me, like an old Super Nintendo game that's probably 1 or 2 megabytes, I am downloading 30 freaking megabytes for a Super Nintendo game on that thing. Why? I have limited internet. But yeah, like I said, sorry, Mega Gamer X. You should stop doing that. Wait some years. Wait till, yes, the 3DS is gone. Wait till the 3DS is gone. 3DS is long gone. Then go ahead and do what you're doing. Hold on to the 3DS until then. You know, this is a goof. Not quite being that goofy, but yeah, using flashcards for really old system, you're not a bad person. Using flashcards for newer handhelds and systems, yeah, you're kind of a bad person. I'm sorry. You're still a human being, but you're kind of a bad person. Sorry. Alright, I'm out. Bye.